This is KGW News at Sunrise.
I don't want to die out here. I don't want to die just another homeless guy, just another number.
We talked to that man 6 months ago. Last weekend, he did die when he was hit and killed by a driver who witnesses say intentionally crashed into a homeless camp in Southeast Portland. We'll have the latest on the investigation into his death coming up here in one of our top local stories.
And this morning, a convicted killer in Idaho with ties to Oregon is scheduled to be executed. It'll be the first execution in the state of Idaho in more than a decade. How many people he has confessed to killing and how long he's been on death row.
All right, moving on to other important news today. This Portland woman just entered the Guinness Book of World Records because of the tongue that she is sticking out in that video.
Wow.
She holds the record for largest tongue circumference.
Huh.
That's a record that needed to be broken. This Portland woman broke it.
Hippos are laughing at her, you know. We have huge tongue.
The headline that came in from the Guinness Book of World Records said her tongue is as wide as a Coke can.
No.
Yeah. We're going to break it down. We actually heard back. We reached out to her yesterday to see if she would talk about this.
That's at first about how wide a Coke can is right here, right? That's wide.
Show us your tongue, Rod.
I don't know why you would do this, but can you put that whole phone in your mouth? We'll have more on her story. We have heard back from her, though. She says she's willing to talk about her tongue.
Oh.
Details to come. Weather purse, please.
This is the weirdest start to a newscast in my 37-year history of doing TV news.
You came very close to putting my dirty phone in your mouth.
All right. Well, this is the day that we'll enjoy some mild temperatures, but we have a lot of rain coming. We have breezy south winds. There's one reason why we have the mild temperatures. And then we have that cold front coming tonight that gets snow levels back below 1,000 feet. So lots to talk about as we go through the next couple of hours. Right now, you can see some moisture on the radar, but it's mainly dry up and down I-5 from Longview to Salem. We've got steady rain developing offshore, and our Futurecast movies show as early as 8 this morning here in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver. The steady rain begins, and then it will be raining the rest of the day. That is a current temperature, ladies and gentlemen, with a south-southwest wind at 16. It is 50 degrees outside. And we will generally be upper 40s to low 50s throughout the day. Again, it turns into a steady rain. We keep the breezy south winds. Enjoy the warmth because it will not be warm starting tomorrow. Here's Chris.
Definitely noticed the warm up this morning and the breeze too. Keep a firm grip on the steering wheel, right? Interstate 84 wide open. This is out near 82nd Avenue. That looks good. I-5 near Clark County. Or in Clark County at SR 500. There's just a few cars making that southbound commute, so in pretty good shape there. This is SR 14 at Leeser Road. A reminder that all week, each day, WashDOT is doing some exit lane ramp closures, both directions from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. so that they can do some bridge maintenance on the Leeser Road overpass. Guys?
Good to know. Thank you, Chris. At 9 o'clock this morning, the state of Idaho is set to execute its first death row inmate in a dozen years.
His name is Thomas Eugene Creech. He was found guilty of killing multiple people in several states, including 2 people in Oregon. Devin Haskins joins us live now in our newsroom with more on his lengthy stay on death row and his ties to Oregon. Devin?
Yeah, Drew, Creech has a long criminal history dating back to the 1970s. It was in 1974 that he was convicted of killing 2 people that had picked him up while hitchhiking in Idaho. He was originally sentenced to death for those killings, but the Supreme Court overturned that and converted it to life in prison. Fast forward 7 years, while in prison, he killed an inmate and was sentenced to death for that killing after pleading guilty. While in prison, he did admit to several other murders. Authorities have linked him to 11 deaths, including 2 in Oregon back in the early 70s. Creech has been on death row for over 40 years and is among the nation's longest-serving death row inmates. His lawyers have tried to have his execution postponed, but this past week, a federal appeals court and the U.S. Supreme Court rejected those appeals. On Tuesday, faith leaders and civil rights advocates called for the state to stop the execution.
We do not have to execute the 73-year-old man in order to hold him severely accountable. What he could have instead is death by incarceration rather than death at all of our hands with an execution.
Barring any last-minute changes, Thomas Creech will be executed by lethal injection at 9 a.m. our time. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Devin. Also in Idaho today, Brian Koberger is expected back in court. He's the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. Today, his lawyers will ask that more investigators be allowed to view certain genetic evidence. The court will also be discussing where the trial should be held and also a date for the trial itself. The hearing starts at 1 o'clock our time this afternoon.
A Clackamas County woman who opted to treat her daughter's cancer with CBD oil against the suggestions of medical professionals will spend 90 days behind bars. Last November, a jury found Christina Dixon guilty of custodial interference and criminal mistreatment. The charges stem from her efforts to prevent her then 13-year-old daughter from getting surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. The girl was taken into protective custody and underwent successful surgery in 2020.
And a bill that would recriminalize possession of hard drugs in Oregon is now one step closer to becoming law. Last night, a joint committee voted to move House Bill 4002 to the House floor. The bill, which amends Measure 110, also includes potential jail time that can be avoided by a combination of drug treatment and probation. Despite some concerns, many lawmakers told us they're happy with the compromise.
We have more work to be done. But I'm going to leave here with the belief that we can tackle the addiction crisis in the state. I know we have incredible people doing incredible things in our communities in all parts of our state. We're going to find a way on the state level to support them.
The bill could go in front of the full House as early as tomorrow. If passed, it would then head to the Senate. The end of the session is on March 10th. We'll keep you updated as we track the bill's progress.
Another Oregon bill that would prohibit book bans based on things like race, gender identity, or sexual orientation has passed through the state Senate. Supporters of this bill say it protects free speech by stopping politically motivated book bans, but opponents argue that it takes away educational control from parents. This bill will now head to the Oregon House.
Meanwhile, yet another bill making its way through the House could provide some $50 million for K-12 summer learning programs in Oregon. The bill's supporters working in education say the extra money is needed. A study last year showed out of 30 states, Oregon kids were the only ones who saw continued learning loss in math and reading instead of rebounding from the pandemic. Education experts tell us that for Oregon students to get back on track, more summer programs and tutoring are needed. Still, how to fund that is up for debate, and uncertainty over funding has left some people worried.
And I know that there's been some pushback, thinking, what is really the impact? What is the dollars worth what we're getting out of it? And I can attest to the fact that it is.
The bill's sponsors remain optimistic it will pass. This week, it will go to committee before it arrives on the House floor.
All right, let's move to one of our more unusual headlines this morning. A Portland woman has earned her way, I should say, into the Guinness Book of World Records because she now has the largest tongue circumference of any woman in the world. Her name is Jenny. Again, she's from right here in Portland. Her tongue measures just over 5 inches around. If you were to measure a soda can, you would find that her tongue is actually thicker than that soda can.
What? Look, that does not look like a soda can to me.
That does not look like 5 inches to me. I'm with Christine on this.
Well, are you denying the facts of the story?
Well, no.
Yes.
Go on.
Are you guys above Guinness?
Go on, Drew.
Yes, we are.
I move on. Jenny told the people at Guinness that her son actually spotted the male version of this record in the record books. And so he's like, hey, Mom, that's the record for the guys. I think your tongue is right there. So she did the measurements, and yes, her tongue is now considered the largest circumference-wise in the world.
Okay, like a Coke can is like
we'll
that,
have to
right?
get a Coke can for the next time we tell this story.
I mean, it's really
hour.
pretty similar to the phone, really. It's pretty close.
When she sticks her tongue out to the side, it actually, to me, looks like a giant strawberry.
I guess that could be
You know
one,
what? I could see that.
2, 3, maybe this angle. 2 and 2, 4, 5. Okay, all right. By that angle, all right, maybe. Yeah.
Do you guys have any desire to share tongue circumference right now?
I have no idea
I
about
have a flat tongue.
Are you able to do that?
We most have flat. I don't know.
Yeah, mine's short.
Flat.
Mine's flat, short.
Some people can do that thing where they curl their tongue up. And
No.
yeah,
I think that's a genetic thing.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I don't mean
I don't have
either.
that gene. You're
We
without
don't
that
have that
gene?
gene.
I can't do that.
That gene does not exist on this news desk. But we do have a Guinness World Record holder in Portland because of tongue circumference.
It's the only tongue story we have on the show this morning.
I think we have 4 more coming up in the 6 o'clock hour.
Good.
What a weird way to talk about it.
Well, let's face it. She has more fame than I'll ever have. So good for you, right? Right. We have 50 in Portland, 50 in Astoria, 50 in Florence. We had a warm front last night, and the temperatures went up, 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 up. It's actually dry out there right now on the west side. Current temperatures, of course, not as warm, but they will be warming because John Day right now has a pretty good south wind, 35. Here are the, actually now it's increased to 22. These are wind gusts, bend southwest to 30. This is the warm air that will slowly be moving more across all of Oregon. Here on the west side, we've already jumped up into the warm temperatures. Kelso southeast winds. We'll have this noticeably breezy day with south winds bouncing 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, some 40-plus mile-per-hour winds at the coast today as we will be setting in the warmer air. Now, offshore, back here is our next strong cold front. This comes in. It's very similar in terms of how cold it's going to be to the front that came in Sunday night and dropped snow levels below 1,000 feet. So that's coming again. Now, back in here, and you can see the radar starting to pick up more rain offshore. There's a steady push of rain that will be coming in through the mid-morning hours. So right now, we've got moisture up in the Cascades, where the snow level's around 4,000 feet, by the way. Snow level really went up last night. So it's just rain over the coast range if you're traveling today. This is 8 o'clock this morning, 8:30, showing the steady push of rain coming in. Shows the steady rain throughout the day. And notice a lot of this is even rain up in the Cascades. The snow level today on paper looks to be about 4,500 feet. Right now, government camps at 31. So that's going to be a wet mix at pass level. And then we have heavy rain rates overnight, and then the front comes through. And the blue on this map shows you that the cold air by first thing tomorrow morning is back with us. And we've got winter storm conditions in the Cascades. There's a winter storm watch up that may turn into a warning for snow over the coast range later tonight into the day tomorrow as well. This is Thursday at 8:30, and you can tell on the map that you're getting low snow levels. Look at the rain just along I-5 between Salem and Eugene. Even some low snow pockets showing up on our Futurecast movie around Salem. And then during the day, scattered showers, heavy, maybe some hail, maybe a rumble of thunder down low with the snow raging up in the mountains again. This is how much water is coming. This is a much wetter system overall for the 24-hour period than the one that came in Sunday night. So this is through the day tomorrow. And much of this 1.5 inches in Portland will just come overnight tonight. Could be an inch of rain falling overnight tonight. You saw well over 2 inches at the coast. 7-day forecast, 53 today. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right back to where we were with snow levels near 1,000 to lower at times. The possibility of snow showers mixing in at times. Overnight lows each night near freezing. And if there's moisture around, we'd have the potential of some snow shower activity even down low. And that's your forecast. I'm tempted to stick my tongue out for some reason, but I won't.
Maybe next time. Maybe next hour. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Rod.